Welcome to New Sky TV breaking news. If there's a certain inertia to fame, then Guo Yuxin has chosen to go against the grain. From Summer of Fender to August Summer, she's collaborated with two male gods of different styles, yet she's repeatedly shed the label of relying on on-screen couples. She didn't follow the safe route of the big brother and sister-in-law pairing, but instead chose the more difficult, riskier, and more rewarding path of going solo. And the result? 2 billion views, a decisive blow. Guo Yuxin's name was once almost inextricably linked with Liu Xiaoxu. During the Summer of Fender era, a single glance between the two could ignite the online comments. The Fender couple became the platform's most reliable source of traffic. And precisely because of this, when the two stopped collaborating, doubts arose. Without the national CP, can she still be popular? The answer was definitively given by the Hangzhou platform on December 12. Official data for August Summer, total views surpassed 2 billion. This isn't luck, nor is it riding the coattails of popularity, it's a naked counterattack of strength. What's even more striking is that this was her first truly representative work after leaving her original on-screen partner. At that moment, all predictions of her solo career inevitably leading to failure became invalid. After Summer of Fender, the pressure on her was palpable. She's too good at acting was criticized for not being explosive enough, and Northeast Love Story was repeatedly compared to her peak period. Every step she took felt like being under a microscope. But Guo Yuxin didn't back down. She portrayed sweetness with layers, vulnerability with strength, and being loved as being worthy of being loved. In August Summer, she didn't rely on labels or sell a persona, yet she captivated audiences with each episode, and the ratings skyrocketed. This time, no one dared to say she was someone's appendage. She proved with her work that hits aren't accidental, and success is never given by others. It was precisely this unconventional choice that allowed the character to truly stand on its own. She didn't rely on exaggerated emotions to create memorable moments, nor did she force popularity through contrived sweet romance scenes. Instead, she subtly conveyed a wealth of emotions through her eyes, poses, and subtle gestures. A hesitant glance, an unspoken word, all these made the audience suddenly realize that this character was alive, had a past, and was carrying a burden as she moved forward. Many viewers were completely captivated only in the latter half of the series. They weren't exploded by the plot, but rather slowly drawn into the emotions by her performance. Similar comments began appearing in the live chat. She doesn't steal the show, but you can't look away, and the moment she appears, the screen falls silent. This presence, without shouting or crying, is remarkably stable. And it is precisely because of this that the viewership in the midsummer of August didn't skyrocket overnight, but rather steadily climbed. Word of mouth spread, multiple viewings, and long-term dissemination propelled this initially underestimated work to the pinnacle of 2 billion views. At that moment, all the criticisms of lacking soul seemed insignificant and pale. More importantly, audiences began to rediscover Guo Yuxin. She was no longer just a female lead in a certain couple, but an actress capable of carrying a show independently and portraying complex characters. With a work whose pacing wasn't particularly appealing, she achieved a remarkably successful delabeling. This is why the scenes between the two actors possess a rare sense of ease. It's not a back-and-forth clash of performances, but a mutual complement in rhythm. A glance is met instantly, a line is delivered with perfect pauses. That chemistry isn't a deliberately cultivated performance, but rather a natural reaction born from the same acting system. Many viewers commented, "They don't seem like they're playing a couple, they seem like they've known each other for years." This perfectly captures the most precious aspects of In the Midsummer of August. Emotions aren't forced, but slowly accumulated in everyday details. Both actors chose to restrain their performances, leaving the emotions for the audience to experience, rather than proclaiming the answers for them. It is precisely this shared acting philosophy that makes this broken mirror mended story so believable. There were no melodramatic plot twists, no forced sentimentality, only the helplessness and restraint of adults repeatedly weighing emotions against reality. Guo Yuxin was responsible for maintaining the character's emotional core, while Wang Haowen supported her performance with silence and a sense of propriety, creating a remarkably comfortable balance. When the audience begins to grapple with the character's choices, rather than just focusing on the plot, a drama has already won half the battle. In the Midsummer of August achieved precisely this, allowing the audience to unconsciously project their emotions onto the characters. Perhaps this is why more and more people are rewatching it multiple times. So the question arises, after this successful collaboration, will these two alumni have the opportunity to team up again and create an even more accomplished work? It was these seemingly insignificant experiences that quietly paved the way for her later breakthroughs. In those fleeting scenes, she learned how to leave a mark with a single line of dialogue, a simple movement. She learned how to make a character believable even when not under the spotlight. For many actors, small roles are merely passing by, but for Guo Yuxin, they are real-world training sessions where mistakes are not an option. So when the opportunity truly arrived, she hardly hesitated. The high-intensity filming pace and dense emotional output of short dramas were familiar battlefields for her. She knew how to quickly establish character relationships within a limited time frame, and how to effortlessly draw the audience into the story's emotions in the shortest amount of time. It is precisely because she stands from that her co-stars are able to shine alongside her. Whether it was the strong chemistry with Liu Xiaoxu or the restrained chemistry with Wang Haowen, now, she is like a stable foundation, providing emotional grounding and a central focus for the story. The so-called making male actors famous is never a matter of chance, but rather a mutual achievement in performance. It's often said in the industry that actors who truly go far don't rely on a single blockbuster, but on consistently delivering quality performances afterward. Guo Yuxin's path perfectly illustrates this. She wasn't suddenly discovered, but rather finally recognized. When the hype fades and audiences begin to examine her future with a longer-term perspective, perhaps only one question remains. After transitioning from a hit female lead in short dramas to a mature actress, how high will Guo Yuxin's potential be pushed? It wasn't until 2024, when she seized the opportunity presented by the booming micro-drama market, that her fate took a turn for the better. Even in this field, often seen as fast food by some, she displayed an almost obsessive dedication. She constantly challenged herself with diverse roles, from the capable female lead in Summer of Fender to fiery farm girls and sweet young women in other dramas, striving to avoid being typecast. While filming The Top Scholar, his wife flipped the table again. She underwent intensive horseback riding training beforehand to prepare for a scene involving galloping on horseback. The dashing figure in the final cut was the result of countless hours of practice and falls. The drama's premiere immediately topped the platform's popularity charts, further demonstrating her market appeal. To date, 5 of Guo Yuxin starring micro-dramas have surpassed 1 billion views, and her total viewership for starring micro-dramas exceeds 5 billion. At the 2025 Hengdian Micro-Drama Night, she received the annual Star Actress with the Strongest Popularity Award. Her commercial value soared accordingly. Her first personal digital magazine sold out within an hour of its release, generating over 300,000 yuan in sales. These cold, hard statistics and solid awards pieced together a picture of Guo Yuxin that differed from the romanticized image she projected, an independent actress with strong market appeal and a loyal audience. The initial criticisms that she can't do without Liu Xiaoxu have now vanished in the face of 2 billion views. Viewers are discussing her next role and anticipating the chemistry she'll have with Wang Haowen in their second collaboration, Meteor Shower. Her story serves as a poignant reminder of the short drama genre, in an industry perceived as reliant on popularity, formulaic plots, and romantic pairings. What ultimately retains viewers is an actor's reverence for performance and the willingness to pour their heart and soul into their role. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.